Omaha, Nebraska, has sealed its doom in the mayoral election of May 13, 2025, elevating John Ewing Jr. over incumbent Gene Stothert in a contest that offered no salvation, only divergent paths to disaster. This election, a bleak pageant of ideological extremism and civic collapse, laid bare the city's electorate as the architects of its own demise, choosing between two reprehensible candidates whose visions will deepen Omaha's descent into division and chaos. Ewing's victory is not a mandate but a prelude to racial strife and misrule, while Stothert's ousting ends a reign of corruption and lunacy, leaving Omaha to reap the bitter harvest of its own ignorance. A disastrous election. Ewing versus Stothert. The 2025 Omaha mayoral election was a travesty, pitting John Ewing Jr., a veiled anti-white radical, against Gene Stothert, a corrupt and deranged incumbent. In the general election, Ewing claimed 45,336 votes, or 55.4%, while Stothert secured 36,307 votes, or 44.3%, with a total of 81,643 votes cast. As results came in, no write-in or protest votes were reported, signaling the electorate's capitulation to this grim binary. The primary election, with 75,208 voters, saw Stothert and Ewing dominate, marginalizing lesser candidates like Mike McDonnell, Jasmine Harris, and Terry Brewer, none of whom presented a conservative or sensible alternative. Ewing's rise heralds a dire shift. Beneath his meticulously honed nice guy persona lurks a divisive agenda set to remake Omaha into a racially charged wasteland, echoing Chicago's ruin under Brandon Johnson. His administration will likely prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, sidelining white residents and city workers while plunging the city into a ghettoized morass of mismanagement. Stothert, however, was no less culpable. Her 12-year tenure was a masterclass in liberal malfeasance, defined by a scandal-plagued streetcar project and draconian COVID-era measures, including lockdowns, mask mandates, and coerced vaccinations. Her personal life, shadowed by her husband's suspicious suicide, cynically leveraged for political sympathy, and a hasty remarriage, solidified her image as an unhinged opportunist whose leadership drove Omaha into a woke quagmire. Her erratic behavior and shrill demeanor pushed voters to the breaking point, rendering her untenable. The ignorance of Omaha's electorate. Omaha's citizenry stands as the true orchestrator of this catastrophe, a gullible and apathetic populace reveling in its political obtuseness. White voters, swayed by racial guilt or sheer folly, propelled Ewing to power, while others, repelled by Stothert's corruption and incessant haranguing, found no viable refuge. The primary offered no conservative or rational candidates, forcing voters to choose between two leftist ideologues in a system riddled with cronyism and clandestine deals. Omaha's electorate, enthralled by coastal trends and media narratives, has proven itself incapable of demanding better, content to drift on a tide of ignorance as the city's quality of life plummets. This election laid bare the city's cultural malaise. Omaha's residents, seduced by the allure of progressive platitudes or too weary to resist Stothert's tyranny, endorsed a corrupt status quo, either ignoring or embracing the city's slide into dysfunction. Ewing's victory, fueled by white voters oblivious to his radical intentions, portends a future of persecution for conservatives and pragmatic citizens, who now face an administration bent on racial favoritism and ideological overreach. The electorate's failure to coalesce around a meaningful alternative underscores a broader civic bankruptcy, where apathy and naivety reign supreme. A city condemned by its own hand. Omaha's 2025 mayoral election is a scathing indictment of its people and their priorities. Ewing's ascent trades one calamity for another, promising a city fractured by racial discord and administrative incompetence. Stothert's exit offers no solace, as her legacy of corruption and madness endures as a warning ignored. Omaha, a microcosm of Nebraska's broader decay, has reaped what it sowed, a leadership void filled by imposters, with no redemption in view. As Ewing assumes power, Omaha teeters on the brink of an ideologically driven abyss, its citizens complicit in their own undoing, poised to endure the dark days of division and decline that loom ominously on the horizon.